Experience is the best teacher sometimes. 5 things I wish I knew. No, I would have never known it. Hey guys, welcome to the It Tribe channel. I am Liz Owino. I want to start by saying thank you so much to every single person that has listened, has subscribed, the comments, the pictures. I've received them all. Thank you so much. And if you haven't watched it, the video will be up here. If you've not subscribed, why have you not subscribed? Like, to any single person that is new here, welcome. We're going to be doing a lot here. On today's episode, I am going to address the elephant in the room. Today's my birthday. It's kind of exciting and it's also kind of scary. Ciao. Currently, people can actually say I'm in my mid-20s, and that's very, very, very scary and also very exciting at the same time because I'm growing. Today I decided to talk about the 5 things that I've learned, but then I'll put them in words because I like words. I like to play around with words. Everything about words, I love it. That explains why I read and I write. Wait, I don't have glasses. So it's just gonna be vibes. It's just vibes and vibes. Before we proceed, I would first like to introduce my G's. This is Sarah and this is, I don't know, man. I don't know what we should call him. Yo will let me know in the comment section. This episode is mostly going to focus on the things that I've learned when I was 23. Everything in between that, because I feel like last year for me was like one of the hardest. Sharing that would be very beneficial to some of the people that listen, especially for the younger kids and the people that are in their teen years and stuff like that. A lot of people keep on saying things I wish I knew when I was, things I wish I knew when I was. We need to stop doing that because you would have never known it. The more we keep on doing that, the more we keep on spoiling what life is, because I feel like experience is the best teacher sometimes, and you know what you know because you've experienced certain things. If you didn't experience what you experienced, I don't think you would have actually even said 5 things I wish I knew when I was younger. Like, I get what they're trying to do, but also sometimes I feel like it's very detrimental to the people that are younger, because now you feel like if you didn't do that when you were younger, what does that mean for you as a person? So I'm not gonna do that, because 5 things I wish I knew, no, I would have never known it. I didn't know any better, and that was just it. I just didn't know. It's simple. I just didn't know, because you only know something once you experience something, and before you experience it, you ain't never gonna know. For some people, it's unheard of. Like, it just won't be there. The first word would be love. Before I became a devoted Christian, I kind of didn't understand the meaning of love. I knew love, but I didn't understand it. I didn't personalize it. I wasn't aware of what love really meant until last year. And I did an episode with Teddy Anashe. It's on the It Tribe podcast. It's called Pushing Productivity. We talked about love, and we talked about a lot of people don't really know the meaning of love. A lot of people don't know what love is. I say God is love. Until I knew who God was, until I actually understood that they say God loves us unconditionally. That was the first time I actually knew the meaning of love. The other way that I've learned love actually is through my friends. Yo, guys, platonic love, like, ooh, it has carried me from like my lowest of days to like the best of moments. I can't sit here and think of a moment where something was happening and one of my friends didn't show up for me. Like, I just cannot think. I can't remember it. And it was on some, like, because I remember a time like now last year, I didn't have a phone because, okay, my phone got spoiled, and then I made a decision to stay without a phone. So I kind of stayed, like, was it 2 months or 3 months without a phone? That was amazing. I would really recommend for people to do that if you really want to reboot or restart. That's probably one of the best things you could do for yourself. And now when I tell people I love them, like, I genuinely mean it, because I understand where it comes from, and it doesn't necessarily come from me. I get my love from God, and then I spread it to other people. So that's how I feel it goes. That's how I think it should be. Unfortunately, that doesn't really apply to every single person, because I feel like love has become very transactional right now, and that's very scary. So I'm going to be hydrating because I had a lot of coffee today, but hopefully you have your own drink, because Sundays we're going to be drinking soft. The second word is purpose. Every single person keeps saying, like, Liz, you're always talking about purpose. And one thing I learned, everything that I do stems from one thing. This video is because there's a purpose behind it. My friendships is because there's a purpose behind it. So any single interaction that I have with any single person, any single thing that I do, I always ask myself, what is the purpose? Like, if I'm about to be a friend with somebody, I ask myself, what is the purpose of this relationship? I was a DJ when I was 22, so I used to meet a lot of people. And then there came a time where I got really sick and I didn't know who to call, and I was like, why? I know a lot of people, but like, what is their job? Like, what are you doing in my life? Because whether we like it or not, you're using somebody and somebody is using you, so I was like, I need to establish the purpose of every single thing that I do from now henceforth. That doesn't mean that I know everything, but I try as much as I can to be aware of like why I do certain things, why I engage with certain people, why I don't do certain things. And that's just how I feel like my life runs, and that's how it makes it easier for me, because once you know what you're supposed to be doing, like from the core of you as a person, is when you know like the small little bits of things, like who are you supposed to be around, who are you supposed to be talking to, who are you supposed to be dating, what are you supposed to be doing, where are you supposed to be going the next 5 to 10 years. That's like, that's how you gauge who you are as a person, through your purpose. And a lot of people say like, when can I know that I found my purpose? It's like in the smallest of things that you do, that's how you know. Like, what's that one thing that like when you think of it, like it weighs heavily on your heart, that type of thing. Because I know for some people it's helping the sick, for some people it's helping the disabled, for some people it's starting a company, a really big company. Someone like Aliko Dangote, you'd say his purpose is that, because he's stuck to it for a really long time and he's mastered the field, so that is his purpose. For some of the doctors during COVID, that was their purpose, to be in that moment at that specific time. So when people hear purpose, they only think of church. Like, no, purpose is what you're supposed to be doing as a human being. I think of it like, why was I created? Why did God create me? Because everybody has their own unique purpose. There's one specific thing that you're supposed to do that is only meant for you as a person. So I say, as Liz, there's a problem that is in this world that I was created as a solution to fix. So yeah, that's my second word. And I hope that helps somebody that was kind of stuck. My third word would be forgiveness. And through forgiveness, I learned freedom. Because I would say I had a lot of forgiving that I had to do within myself, within other people. I was running away from things. And at that time, I would say a functioning alcoholic. I used to drink a lot because like I said, I used to be a DJ. So I have kind of social anxiety. I don't like calling it like that, but I think that's what it is. In that, like, when I go to certain spaces, I had to drink so that I can relate with people. And I was like, after like some time, I started realizing that this wasn't really what I wanted to do. And even in as much as I love like DJing, I love doing all of that stuff, I just didn't want to be the person that has to drink for me to survive in a certain environment, because that meant that I was forcing myself to be where I don't want to be. And I say, from forgiveness, I learned how to let go of shame. Shame is like a very big thing, especially in this world, in the world right now. And there is so many people, like, they fear to do things because of shame, and they're afraid of even themselves. There's this song by Burna Boy. It says, fight for your life, you go they fear. It's Dangote or something like that. I learned how to let go of perfection. This is how the average human being functions. Liz was trying to function here. My friends noticed that, so they were the ones that were like, okay, calm down. This is where you're supposed to be. But like, I was an overachiever, or I don't know what they call it. I had to forgive myself for being a people pleaser. And it's not like it was like a terrible thing. No, it is a terrible thing, because you find that it sucks up your energy, it sucks up you as a person, your personality. Because like I could blend, like I was like a chameleon. Even from my accent, you can tell that like there's some South African to it, and then there's some, like, I don't know, I just have multiple accents. I don't know if it's part of people pleasing, or maybe it's because I've lived in different environments. I honestly don't know. But like, even one of the things that as human beings we have to actually know and accept is every single one of us has that need for validation. If you don't know how to like affirm yourself, and you're not strong as a person in your personality, you end up being a people pleaser. And that comes from sometimes traumas, that comes from maybe you didn't receive love growing up as a kid, or you were neglected. It comes from so many different things, and that's how people end up being people pleasers. So I had to just let go of the fact that not everybody is gonna like me. And just because someone doesn't like me, that doesn't tell something about me. They may just not like me because of their own reasons. I should not strive to make every single person like me. So I just had to let it go. And trust me, it wasn't an easy thing for me to forgive myself. Was I had to forgive myself for doing stuff like the overly drinking like that. At that time, I used to beat myself up because I'm like, how could I be doing that? Why was I doing that? I'd be like, I had to say, I did that when I was 22 and I did know better, but now I know better and I can make better decisions from that particular situation. You know, like I said before in the beginning of the video, I don't like when people say 5 things I wish I knew. You would have not known it because now you're thinking about it from like hindsight. And when you're thinking about things from hindsight, it gives you more wisdom because you've already experienced it. But like in the moment, without any prior knowledge, without prior exposure, you would have never known. That's number three. Number four, I would say grace and favor. My friend and I, her name is Laura. Shout out to Laura. We say 2023 was the hardest year for both of us actually, because that was when we were trying to cement ourselves as women of God. It comes with a lot, to be fair. That was the first time I got depressed and I made it out. Thank God. I got a job working as a data protection officer. I used to do GDPR, General Data Protection Regulations. That job was serious, guys. I literally had to sign a contract. That was when I knew, oh, this is not like, you know, those small jobs I used to do. So, like, there's just been a lot of things that when I really sit down, you know, even when I was praying this past week, I was like, there was just in my spirit, it was like, count your blessings, like, count your blessings, like, count them and know them. Because me, one thing about me is when something happens, I celebrate it in the moment. I'm like, God, thank you, and that's how it ends. But like, I don't really sit in it long enough to actually say I did that. Number five, I would say, is spiritual enlightenment. That was my word of the year last year, and child, when I tell you that word came to light, it did. I tell people, being a Christian is one of the things that freed me. I was lost. Like, even the relationship that I was in when I was 22, that the person I was with at that time, that was the person that I say met me at my worst and cleaned me up. Because at that time there was a lot of things that were happening to me in my mind, where I say I've had to raise myself. And I tell people, you're the only person that got you. I mean it. Because in 3 years, I've seen a lot, done a lot, experienced a lot, had to go through a lot. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. When I say, guys, being a Christian is like my pillar or like my anchor, because it's like I would have not been sitting on this chair talking to you guys the way I'm talking to you guys, confident the way I'm confident like this, if I didn't know there's somebody that's backing me behind. There's like a God somewhere that stands with me, sits with me, walks with me. Like, I just don't. Because if the people that know me actually can attest to this, because they met me then. They knew me then. Because there's some people that until today, when they look at me like, wow, Lizzie, you actually changed. And I'm like, I thank God for the fact that you can see it. Because I say my life is a testament to the goodness and faithfulness of God. And I see myself as a vessel in the hands of God. He makes me how he wants to make me. He molds me how he wants to mold me. And I'm here, like, I'm just here. And in every single thing that happens, I know like he's carrying me like this. I'm not perfect, clearly. And I hope that what I've learned can help another person, you know. But one thing I learned about forgiveness was I had to forgive people without an apology. And that's like one of the hardest things, to know that someone hurt you and they know that they hurt you, but then they will never say sorry. Is like, I just had to accept that, like, you know, I need to see them, not as them, but I need to see their heart. Like, I need to see them how God sees them for me to let it go. Because sometimes you want to smack somebody, you know, and it's like sometimes you just have to ask yourself, what would Jesus do in this situation? And there's a song, I think, Toby Migwe, try Jesus, don't try me. I try as much as I can not to think of that statement, because yeah, the word of this week that I'm gonna give is love. Be conscious of practicing love. Don't be a transactional lover. Don't give people love because they give you. Just love people. Like, love on everybody. love on anything, I would say love. I normally say love conquers all. I'm here because of love. I'm here because of the people that saw me and the people that love me. I'm here because I love me. One of the things that I had to learn was I have to love myself first and not hate myself. I used to go to the gym because I hated my body, and it got to the point where I used to beat myself up because I lost weight, and I used to get so mad, like I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror because of that. But then now I don't care. When they say love your neighbors, you love yourself, you have to love yourself first for you to love your neighbors. So if you don't love yourself, that means the love that you give other people is counterfeit. So the word of this week would be love. Like, love yourself, take care of yourself. Ask yourself, what's one thing that I do for myself or that I can do for myself from today henceforth to show myself love? Because there's some people that you give people so much and they give you this little and you get upset, not because they've not loved you, but then you expect you from other people. The only way you can stop expecting you from other people is when you love you enough that when you give out of you, it's not like they're taking anything from you. Matter of fact, you'd be willing and you'd be happy to actually do that. So I hope you practice love, and see you guys next week. Let me know in the comment section what part you really liked, what part, stuck out to you. And remember to like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, subscribe. Come here. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.